The invasion on Ukraine, something that the world has been quite concerned about for some time now, and according to CNN, it could happen any day. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan stated that we cannot perfectly predict the day, but he expects it to happen before the end of the Olympics. He also added that the way the forces are built up, there's a very high possibility that there will be major military action soon. Even the president of Ukraine has now acknowledged that we are told that February 16th will be the day of the attack on Facebook. Kind of interesting they decided to disclose it on Facebook, but anyways, here comes the question. As a retail investor in the stock market, why should we care about something that's happening on the opposite side of the world? One of the main reasons is that if there were an invasion, dollar costs would strengthen, US bond yields would most likely move lower, and commodities, including wheat and palladium, would rally. As we covered in our mosaic analysis video, Russia is one of the largest leaders in terms of exportation of potash, a key ingredient in fertilizer. With a simple understanding of economics, we can realize supply and demand. If Russia were to invade Ukraine, this would withhold the supply and would inadvertently raise the prices of crops and potentially inflation as well, because the demand all around the world would still be there and supply would decrease. With this chart, we see that Russia is one of the largest producers in terms of potash and nearly 30% of the market share when compared to 9 different of the highest users. Corn, wheat, barley would all jump if Russia decides to invade Ukraine, and with inflation coming in red hot at 7.5% this past month, the cost of living will most likely rise. Purchasing power decreases, and although minimum wage has been rising, it may just not be enough. And with all these factors, this will most likely result in the increasing of the VIX, or the fear index, which has not been high for quite some time now. It is getting into the higher highs, and I really think that a lot of this also will have to do with the oil prices. There's also something called the Nord Stream 2. It is currently something that is a 750 mile per hour pipeline connecting Russia and Germany. See, if this gets cut off through the Ukrainian invasion, it would absolutely inflate the prices of gas and oil. The current prices for the essentially barrels of oil is $75 to $80. But as we can see here, between Russia and Ukraine could send oil above $100 a barrel with nearly a 30 to 40% increase. And gas would be nearly $4 a gallon, and in some states, $5. For those of you living in the US right now, the average gallon of gas is like $3.50. And so this would just absolutely multiply how much you would even have to pay for a single gallon of gas. And this type of exiting supply would kill the European markets. This would lead into cost push inflation, and inflation is just really bad because it makes it harder for consumers to tell if a particular good is getting more expensive relative to other goods. And this would induce cost push inflation, because what this means is that the direct impacts of the invasion on Ukraine, it really occurs with the energy sector like oil and natural gases. For those of you who drive cars, you need gas to drive. Whether it's getting to work or even public transportation, basically everything runs off of oil or natural gases off of some extent. In an actual economic scenario, you and pretty much everyone else need a certain amount of gasoline to fuel your car or natural gas to heat your home. Refineries need a certain amount of crude oil to create gasoline and other fuels. But yeah guys, I do think cost push inflation is going to be really big. I am speculating that inflation itself will most likely hit 8, even if not 8.5 by the end of March or early April. I really think that the entire energy sector will most likely explode. I know a lot of people are saying that's most likely priced in, but hopefully we'll have a lot more updates soon to come. And with this coming out on Wednesday, I really do think everyone is doing safe and doing well. I think there will be a lot of speculation of what is to come, and it almost feels like a perfect storm. Coming off the pandemic with super high inflation, and now hitting again the 7.5%, it's just absolutely insane. The reason why I created this video was to talk about the impacts of the Ukraine invasion, or the Russian invasion on Ukraine, and on how the US markets may affect your investments. But yeah, that's all I have today guys, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to tell someone that you love them, and peace.